Today we're jumping into a story that on the surface seems like a simple conversation between two people. But let me tell you, it's actually a really deep philosophical debate about good, evil, and all the tough choices that live in that gray area in between.
So, right off the bat, we're dropped into this massive, high-stakes situation. This isn't just another story, it's a cosmic reckoning. A bunch of souls have been given one final shot at redemption. But as we're about to see, free will is a very, very complicated thing.
So the story sets up this fundamental choice right away. This world, this one last chance, is basically a journey with two totally different destinations.
On one hand, you can be on the path. You can think of this as a kind of soul school, right? It's all about progress, learning, and heading toward this goal of graduation. But on the other side, you've got off the path. This is described as just wandering around in the woods, a life of pure indulgence, fantasy, and, well, getting absolutely nowhere. Stagnation. And here's the real kicker. It's not a live and let live kind of deal. According to one of the characters, Evan, the people who choose the woods don't just stay there. Nope. They go out of their way to mess with the people who are actually trying to stay on the path. Their choice has a direct, harmful impact on everyone else.
And get this isn't their first rodeo. The story makes it super clear that these souls have been given thousands of years of chances, of grace, of forgiveness. But that's all over now. All that cosmic support, gone. The universe has called in their debts. This is, quite literally, their last chance.
Okay, so this is where the core of the debate really kicks in. When you're faced with these souls who've gone astray, what do? Well, the character Abby argues for a path of empathy, of compassion.
Abby's whole perspective is really built on hope. She believes that if you just show people a better way, if you lead by example and offer genuine help, they'll be inspired to change. They'll want to choose the right path for themselves. It's a really powerful and optimistic way of looking at things.
But Evan, he fires back almost instantly with this incredibly sharp rebuttal. He sees Abby's hope not as a strength, but as a dangerous kind of naivety. He calls it wishful thinking, something that caring souls do when they just can't see the reality of the situation.
Abby doesn't back down, though. In fact, she doubles down. She suggests that people on the path should actually go into the woods, on purpose, to share their light and lead the lost ones back. For her, virtues like mercy and sharing aren't just ideas. They demand action, even if it's risky.
And this is Evan's chilling response. He basically says, yeah, we've tried that before. And you know what happened? Those idealistic souls who went into the woods to help, they didn't come back. They were tricked, robbed, and drained of their own energy, their mystic light, and got trapped right alongside the people they were trying to save. They didn't become saviors, they became victims.
So this warning starts to build towards a really critical point. Because in Evan's mind, these aren't just some lost, misguided souls. He sees them as something way more calculated, something predatory.
Yeah, he stops calling them lost souls. He gives them a new name, wolves. And what's so wild about this is their intention. He says their goal isn't just to have a good time in the woods for themselves. Their entire purpose is to actively stop other people from graduating.
And their methods are just ruthless. I mean, look at this list. They lie, they cheat, they'll even kill. They pretend to be your friend, but they don't follow any of the rules. The end game is always the same: drain you of your energy, and then, as he puts it, eat you. This paints a picture of a parasite, not just someone who's lost their way.
Abby's response here is just brilliant because it shows the conflict perfectly. She falls back on a story we all know, the misunderstood monster who just needs a little kindness to change. It's a plot we see in movies all the time. But Evan's whole point is that applying that movie logic to a real-world predator is a fatal mistake.
And this is the moment in the story where everything shifts. This isn't just a philosophical problem anymore. It's an immediate, hidden danger. The real nature of this fight is about to be revealed.
So Abby asks the perfect question, right? Why? If the wolves are just about their own self-indulgence, why would they possibly care about someone else's personal growth? Why is another soul succeeding a threat to them?
Evan's analogy to explain this is just fantastic. Okay, so think of a young drug lord. He's not really threatened by the high school kids around him today, but what if he finds out that those kids are all planning on becoming police officers? Suddenly, they're not harmless anymore. They are a future threat. So what's the logical move? You stop them now before they get powerful enough to actually be a problem.
And boom, it clicks for Abby. In that moment, she realizes the danger isn't that she's weak, it's that she's blind. Her inability to see the enemy for what they truly are is what makes her the perfect target. This is the moment her entire worldview just starts to shatter.
And that's when Evan just drops the bombshell. This isn't about individual temptations. It's not about a few bad choices here and there. He claims this is an organized, secret war, a war that most people don't even know is being fought.
So if it's a war, then all the rules of engagement are completely different. And that leads us to the story's big central dilemma, and it's one that it never really answers.
Evan raises the stakes one last time. He says that just protecting yourself isn't good enough. If you ignore this war, you're just passing the problem down to your kids and their kids, who will be totally unprepared for these deceptive, evil assaults.
This leaves us with an absolutely brutal choice. If you follow Evan's logic, the only way to win this war is to cut off the wolves' food supply, their energy. But what does that mean in practice? It means choosing not to help. It means letting them starve. It pits the strategic necessity of winning against the core virtue of compassion.
And that is the question the story leaves us with. It gives us no easy answer. If this secret war is actually happening, is fighting back just an act of self-preservation? Or is turning your back and withholding help an act of unbelievable cruelty? It forces you to ask yourself, what does it really mean to fight for good when the right thing to do feels so wrong?